Good evening, fans, and welcome back to another edition of NWBL tonight. Tonight's edition, it's going to be different. We're going to talk about this playoff matchup coming up. The Indiana Whackers play the Seattle Bucks tomorrow in Seattle at 2 p.m. Eastern. Live coverage begins at 1:45 p.m. on our Instagram account, live. I will be there, joined by Scott Smith. Tonight, we're only going to have one guest on the phone with me. It's going to be Coach Chris Kolchitsky of the Hollywood Bombers. He's going to talk about his matchup against the Chicago Risers, what he needs to do to be successful, especially since they're the home team. Now, what I want to talk about is this series this game, I should say, because it's single elimination in the first round with the Whackers and Bucks. Matt Walker is out for this game with a foot injury. I don't know who's going to play with Logan Riley, if he's going to go solo or is he going to pull up a minor leaguer like Jack Mulligan, but I think the problem with pulling up a minor leaguer, though, is even if the Bombers pulled up a kid like Dylan Sheehy or someone like that, they're unexperienced, they're inexperienced, it's basically like, it's hard to play with them, but it's also good because then it gets some playoff experience, and a guy like Dylan Sheehy or Jack Mulligan, they've never played even a playoff game in their minor leagues yet. Jack Mulligan was a rookie in his minor league. They got cut off this year. They didn't play. And then Dylan Sheehy was a rookie last year in his minor league. They didn't, with AAA, they didn't get playoffs because they got locked out with us. They're inexperienced. But I think pulling up a guy like Jack Mulligan would also even it out because you get a guy like Chris Lombardo, he has no playoff experience, but he has that professional experience. It's a little bit better, but I'm assuming right now, to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure Logan Riley's playing alone, but fans, I know as much as you guys do. So, we'll see tomorrow, But definitely I think that the Bucks can take it. They're 1-1 against them with one extra inning loss to them too. But I 100% have the Indiana Whackers taking this one. But in the 7th inning, in a 14-13 game, last out is going to be a little dribbler to Logan Riley from Chris Lombardo. Logan Riley's going to throw it to first, and he's going to get out like that. That's my take. You guys might have the Bucks upsetting them. I don't know what you guys have, all right? We're going to have to see. What do you guys think? Might be different than mine. Risers Bomber series? Depends on what we're going to see. What Bombers team we're going to see, what Risers team we're going to see. Are we going to see the Bombers that pepper you with run after run after run? Or are we going to see the Bombers team that is not going to score until the last inning? Which team are we going to see? It's the first time in Brian Avanzado's career that he's ever had a losing record at some point in the season. He's always had a winning record, So he's 500 right now with Shane Riley. Him and Shane Riley, this is the worst record they've ever had together, is 500. What does this mean? We don't know. But what does this mean for the Risers? Do they take advantage of it? Who knows? We're going to talk to Coach K. He's going to give us his take on that. So let's see. Let's see what Coach K has to say. Fans, welcome back. And we have Coach of the Hollywood Bombers, Coach K. Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. We're just going to ask you a couple questions as expected. What are your plans going into this playoff game against the Chicago Risers?
Really one word. Win. That's really what it comes down to. It's win or go home. And, if we end up losing, then, our ride ends early. And nobody wants that.
Yeah, definitely. You guys are 2-2-2 this year with 2 extra inning losses. 2 losses to the Risers. You guys are 0-2 to them. Does that bring a different energy to the locker room now, being 2-0 against them?
Yeah, especially all those, really close, hard-fought battles. I think it just gives our players the extra edge. No one wants to go completely defeated against the team, for a full year. That's, lowers morale. So I think our players are going to come out with a little fire under them.
Yeah, definitely. What is your message to the boys going into the game?
This is a club motto. One team, one fight, one dream. There's one goal. Yeah, it just comes down to heart, and that's why I tell them we're gonna put our will on the game, and we're gonna come out with that W.
Yeah, these could be potentially your last 15 outs of the 2020 season, so that should bring a different energy to the locker room.
I 100% agree. We have a couple leaders on the team, Riley and Avanzado. Just they're champions. They're field every single game. I see it in them, and they're ready and they're excited.
Yeah, you make a great point with the leaders. Shane Riley has a couple of championships under his belt. Can he make it number 5 this year? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's where that experience comes in. You know, playoffs are a whole different animal. Regular season, 100% important, but when it comes to the playoffs, there's a whole bunch of clutch factors that comes into it. There's a lot of pressure, extra fans, extra noise, extra press, extra everything. It brings out the best in players, and I know the players that I have are used to that pressure, and they're ready for it. They want it.
Yeah, very excited for you, Coach. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, of course. It was a pleasure speaking to you, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, see you soon, Coach. Fans, thank you guys for joining us on tonight's episode of NWBL. Tonight, you saw my take on the Whackers Bucks series. You saw Coach K's take on the series coming up and what he thinks his team needs to do to be successful a little bit. So, I definitely got the Risers taking that game, though. I got them taking that matchup. 2 times they've beat them. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens, It depends on what teams come out for both teams. Does the mediocre Risers team come out? Does the mediocre Bombers team come out? Does the greatness Risers team come out? Or does the greatness Bombers team come out? Or do they both have their great teams coming out, and then it's going to be a heck of a matchup? We're going to see. All right, guys. As always, have a great evening, and I'm Jeff Randall, your host as always.